and let us all do we can to build a better future.
It seems like a lot of people are stuck in this reality and thinking that the Democrats care, that the Democrats actually have follow through and can accomplish great things. But let's be clear here. The Biden-Harris administration has revealed that the Democrats only like to do feel-good politics, that the Democrats want to just, well, the Democrats like to say things but never follow through. And there are so many people who carry water for the Democratic Party or have this false notion that somehow the party can be reformed or that the party can be fixed or that somehow, finally the Democrats will get it right. We just got to keep our powder dry. We got to keep our powder dry so that everything's going to be fine. And then one day, boom, we're going to push the Democratic Party to the left and it'll be rainbows and sunshines for all. But no, that's not how it works. Because we have people like Kyle Kulinski, who's upset and angry for attacking Dark Brandon. And Kyle, in his own words, thinks that Biden going after MTG, Marjorie Taylor Greene, is a Dark Brandon moment. Vote blue no matter who. I'm going to take pride in voting third party. So go ahead, bully people. Keep on attacking people. I encourage my audience to vote third party. Go ahead. Do it. I'm saying this just to even trigger them too. Here, let's play it. Bear with me, folks. You're going to rip out your hair.
The reason why they're flipping out is because this was like the one instance where Biden, like anytime he would do something good, these memes would fly all over the place on social media. It's like, oh, look, Biden morphed into Dark Brandon because he's like reducing student loan debt or pulling out of Afghanistan and telling the media to go piss off.
When did he reduce student loan debt, Kyle? Does anyone remember? Hey, type 1 if student debt was reduced and oh my goodness, things are so much better. Type 2 for when did student debt get reduced? When did that happen? How many of you have benefited from that? Seriously, show of hands in the live stream chat. Tell me.
Because he does it. Like, it's actually something that showed some genuine organic support for the president at one time or another. And so that's why they're like, this isn't good. It's like everybody viewed him as sort of weak and ineffectual and gets nothing done. And it's like, well, what if we lived in an alternate reality where he was the opposite of that? And then every now and then, in very rare moments, he would come through as like doing some Dark Brandon type shit. Pulling out of Afghanistan, berating the media when they were effectively trying to shame him into going back.
That whole pull out of Afghanistan was sloppy and a mess. No pun intended. Okay? It was a goddamn disaster. Civilians, military personnel, people died for no reason. And dare I say it, we never should have been in Afghanistan in the first place. Thank you, Democrats and Republicans, for funding the Forever War. Kyle, I remember when you were against that. What the hell kind of chemicals do you put in your hair to affect your brain so much, buddy?
Into Afghanistan. Excuse me.
You were coughing on your BS, or is it that was a Democratic wang bone in your mouth?
That was a Dark Brandon moment. Reducing the student loan debt. That was a Dark Brandon moment. So, like, going after, like, Marjorie Taylor Greene or something in a speech, which is a low bar, but hey, at least something, right? That was a Dark Brandon moment. But yeah, most of the...
Something? Hey, what about, hey, I don't know, a debt jubilee, Medicare for all, student debt forgiveness, investing in our infrastructure. But oh no, I guess we got the memes. A Dark Brandon moment. It costs $300 to walk outside.
The time you get the weak, ineffectual old man who doesn't know where he is. Every now and then you get some sprinkles of Dark Brandon, but that's why they're flipping out, because the only positive moments, like, actually, there were no positive moments, and Dark Brandon isn't funny, and it's actually a really dark, bad joke, and actually, I'm gonna comedy shame you, and I don't like this. Jesus Christ.
It's so pathetic to see somebody that I used to respect carry water for the Democratic Party. You sicken me.
The way that political narratives override objective reality is astonishing to me.
This week for a campaign that has huge warning signs, cracks. If you look at the numbers among the base, you look at the numbers with black voters, with young voters, with Hispanic voters, there are visible warning signs.
There definitely are visible warning signs, but now do Trump. See, I'm not a hack, so I can come out here and say, oh my God, it's...
You're not a hack? Are you sure? The way you carrying those water buckets for the Democratic Party, man, it's... I'd say not only you're a hack, you're a cuck for the DNC, Kyle. I mean, come on.
Crazy that Biden and Trump are basically tied in the general election polls. Really? You're attacking Biden's campaign because they sell Dark Brandon merch? Of course, they should. The only merch they should sell is Dark Brandon merch, you absolute freaks. This stuff is basic. I can say that because I'm not a hack.
Oh my God, dude! You had a failure of a Democratic candidate. Basically, help marry you and Crystal. Okay, you had Marianne Williamson there at your goddamn wedding. Jesus Christ! And you kept promoting her as the Bernie Sanders 2.0. And you keep saying that Biden is doing good things. What good things? We still got our inflation. And before you say, oh, it's all Trump's fault. Well, what's Biden doing to improve things? Hey, Kyle, kids are still in cages. But hey, folks, don't worry. The hits just keep on coming because apparently Kyle likes to live in his own world. I want to pull up this little video, this little tweet right here. I don't think that woman has the sole right to say what should happen to her body. Now, I don't think that a woman has the sole right to say what should happen to her body. That's a quote. Now, who is that from? Who's that from? He has also singled out as one of the only two Democratic lawmakers supporting a constitutional amendment that will allow states to overturn Roe v. Wade. Now, shout out to Refuse to Conform. Now, he got this quote. Now, who do you think said that? Was it A, Republican lawmaker? Or option B, Joe Biden, a Democrat? Biden voted to overturn Roe v. Wade in 1982, saying women don't have a sole right to say what happens to their bodies. Shout out to Refuse to Conform. Thank you so much, buddy. Because, hey, let's pull this up in the old archive from the Independent. Came out May 5th. 2022, Biden voted to overturn Roe v. Wade in 1982, saying women don't have a sole right to say what happens to their bodies. Wow, a Dark Brandon moment there, Kyle. In the nascent ways of his political career, Joe Biden had disapproved of Roe v. Wade ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court and said women did not have the sole right to say what should happen to their bodies. Mr. Biden became senator in 1973, had made the remarks a year later. I don't like the Supreme Court decision on abortion. I think it went too far. I don't think that a woman has the sole right to say what should happen to her body, Mr. Biden said, as a younger senator in his early 30s. Oh, my goodness, he was a spring chicken back then, adding that he was really quite conservative on most other issues. He has also been singled out as one of the only two Democratic lawmakers supporting a constitutional amendment that would allow states to overturn Roe v. Wade and pass their own laws over abortion. See, these are the ebbs and flows of Biden. Woo! That fake protest you did. See. The amendment had been dubbed the most devastating attack yet on abortion rights by the National Abortion Rights Action League. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. People want me to go back into the video of Kyle saying that. Hold on. Going live. All right. Jamie, this one's for you.
Brandon merch. Of course, they should. The only merch they should sell is Dark Brandon merch, you absolute freaks. This stuff is basic. I can say that because I'm not a hack.
One more time.
Dark Brandon merch, you absolute freaks. This stuff is basic. I can say that because I'm not a hack.
Yes, you are, Kyle. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Now, again, look, Biden was against Roe v. Hey, by the way, vote blue no matter who. The reason why maybe the Biden administration didn't do anything on Roe v. Wade is because Biden didn't give a damn at all. Did you ever think about that, hot shots? But hey, it's not only that. There's a lot of failure surrounding the Biden-Harris administration. Case in point, the bus. No, not that bus. Not that bus. Get your minds out the gutter. It's the electric bus company. What happened to it? Another dark Brandon moment.
Kamala Harris was in Philadelphia today talking about her most cherished thing.
Workers are building electric buses.
Oh, God, Kamala. Kamala. The word disappointment is a compliment because there's far more worse things that can be said about you and your leadership.
So people can get where they need to go.
Well, no, duh.
What the vice president didn't tell you was America's biggest electric bus company just went belly up. The company's called Proterra, and it filed for bankruptcy this week. Proterra was Biden and Kamala's.
Another dark Brandon moment, right, Kyle?
Could sell his dark Brandon merch, you absolute freaks. This stuff is basic. I can say that because I'm not a hack.
Golden Boy. It was the company that was supposed to eradicate diesel. Taxpayers were funding it, and now the money's gone. We don't know how many possible hundreds of millions of dollars we lost. We don't know where the money went. But we do know this bankrupt electric bus company had access to at least $8 billion. Democrats thought they picked a winner. Kamala toured their factory. Mayor Pete toured their factory. Even Biden touted it.
We ought to be the single most significant suppliers of electric buses and vehicles in the world. You guys are getting us in the game. It's going to make a lot of difference.
Well, now they're out of the game because the company was a scam. In California, the buses caught on fire. In Philly, they broke down. And in Alaska, the batteries froze in the cold.
Big brain people. Another dark Brandon moment, right, Kyle? Oh, my God. Look, listen, I'm all for renewable, clean energy. I'm all for green technology. I really am. Look, hey, I think we need to look at alternative energy sources. I'm all for new energy. But God damn it, who was in charge of oversight? You know, making sure that these things could work? Was somebody asleep at the wheel? Probably so. Another adult-oriented bus is probably far more safer and cleaner than those electric buses. I want to say the name of the bus, but I'll probably get banned on YouTube. The last three letters are ANG bus. That bus is probably more safer and more secure. Just throwing it out there, just saying. I'm just a saying.
And in Minnesota, they stalled out on the hills. The wheels on the bus do not go round and round.
Okay, dude, that was lame. Jesse Waters, come on. Look. Don't ever do that again.
And it takes a year to fix an electric bus because the parts are so rare. So why would the Democrats invest so much political capital and taxpayer capital in a broken electric bus company? Because it was a pump and dump scheme. Al Gore had millions invested in the company while he was lobbying the White House to herald it. George Soros had over $20 million invested in Proterra. Jennifer Granholm, Biden's energy secretary, sat on the company's board. She held stock in Proterra while she was secretary and then sold it for about $1.5 million. Joe Biden even put the Proterra CEO on a prestigious government board and reports.
George Carlin, you're doing that musical number in the sky. It's one big club. You ain't in it. You just ain't in it.
Say Proterra insiders dumped their stock before the company went bankrupt. This was a political pump and dump. Cash out before the crash. Proterra stock is now worth 17 cents a share. This is like Solyndra. House Republicans need to launch an immediate investigation into this taxpayer-funded scam that Biden donors and cronies made a fortune from.
Of course. What would Kyle say? Here's what Kyle would say.
Sell his dark Brandon merch, you absolute freaks. This stuff is basic. I can say that because I'm not a hack.
But hey, listen. Let's find out about Kamala and really how she's relatable to people too. Because Kyle, I'm looking forward to when TYT, Kyle, David Packman, Majority Report all tell us to vote for the Democrats. VP Harris is holding a grassroots reception at Martha's Vineyard. Remember where all those migrants were at? And the people at Martha's Vineyard were like, oh, let's help them, but kick them out as soon as we can. Remember Martha's Vineyard? Remember all the migrants were there? I do. $50 to $10,000. Jesus Christ. That's to me, Kamala. She's going to be cackling like the Joker. Hold on. You know what? Better yet, even the Joker has more restraint to not laugh than Kamala.
Vice President Kamala Harris is going to be holding a grassroots reception on Martha's Vineyard this Saturday on behalf of the Biden-Harris reelection campaign, and tickets range from $50,000 to $10,000. The campaign says the money will help ensure the Biden-Harris Democrats have the resources needed to win in 2024. So it is campaign season, and she's going to be spending it with a champagne crowd, Joe.
Wow. Imagine spending $10,000 to hear Kamala Harris speak, right? I mean, with Taylor Swift, I guess.
Hey, they picked a horrible picture. Come on, Fox. You dirty and low for that one. Imagine listening to Kamala. Hey, would you listen to Kamala cackle and laugh? Type 4 for, yeah, kid, sure, I'll pay money to listen to her. A type 5 for like, no, man. No, I ain't doing all that. What's wrong with you, buddy?
Get it. Here, not so much. But this completely underscores and completely crystallizes, Carly, Ashley, exactly what the Democratic Party has become. These are not your daddy's donkeys anymore.
Ew. Horrible choice of words. Get your minds out the gutter, folks.
Party that once portrayed itself as the party for the little guy, right? A party for blue-collar workers. Instead, it's now the party for the elite, the party for those in big cities and on beautiful islands. The party that it used to accuse Republicans as being, by the way, the party for the richest 1%. But the fact that this fundraiser is being held on one of the richest places in the world, Martha's Vineyard, and it's being billed as a grassroots fundraiser, that's actually accurate considering where this party is now, what it represents, the Martha Vineyard crowd, the home of Barack and Michelle Obama, who should be assigned their own zip code, by the way, for the property they own there on the water. This is what the party's become, and it's a real opportunity for Donald Trump or whoever the Republican nominee is to hammer home. This party doesn't
Yes, have another rich person hammer down another rich person. You don't have a seat at the table. Hey, Kyle, what are your thoughts on this again?
The only merch they should sell is dark branded merch, you absolute freaks. This stuff is basic. I can say that because I'm not a hack.
Of course you're not. Of course you're not, Kyle. You're lovely and special.
Represent you anymore.
So you bought your ticket is what you're saying?
Oh, yeah, I bought my ticket, all right, for a Cubs game that's coming.
Oh, that's I'm a Southside Thriller. I'm a White Sox fan, man. Already, I don't like you.
Up soon, but no, not for this. Can't do it. Sorry, not
well, there
quite
was
my crowd,
a recent New York Times article, and it's titled "Kamala Harris takes on a forceful new role in the 2024 campaign." She's apparently going to be having a more forward-facing job on the campaign trail. So we're just going to have to wait and see if it ends up paying off. Joe, got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the Cubs game. Thanks.
But hey, let's pull this up here because apparently Biden is confronted about what's he doing about climate change. And again, with this big brain individual, it's no wonder to me why, again, voters want to look at somebody else. Again, Kyle, this is your dog in the race, Dark Brandon.
Are you prepared to declare a national emergency with respect to climate change?
We've already done that. We've conserved more land. We've moved into, we've rejoined the Paris Climate Accord. We've passed a $368 billion climate control facility. We're moving. It is the existential threat to humanity.
So you've already declared that national emergency?
Well, in the practice, you have a bug on you.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
You got a bug on you. Focus, Biden. Focus. Focus, old man Biden.
Get it. So you've already declared that national emergency?
Practically speaking, yes.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. And again, just want to pull this up here. Kyle, buddy. You really need to square yourself away. I mean, come on. This is your dog?
It sell is dark branded merch, you absolute freaks. This stuff is basic. I can say that because I'm not a hack.
But let's be very clear here. I mean, this administration already has problems, and now House Republicans are looking into and possibly maybe thinking about impeaching Joe 30330. And of course, Democrats are just having their little panic attacks. Don't tell that to Kyle, though. He might cry.
So the House GOP is eyeing a fall push for a Biden impeachment inquiry, and Democrats are in shambles. So Republicans are looking to impeach Joe Biden for his pay-to-play scheme with his son Hunter Biden peddling his influence as vice president. Democrats and the liberal corporate media is still pretending that there's no evidence of this. So the Bidens have received millions of dollars from oligarchs in Russia, Ukraine, and Kazakhstan while Joe Biden was vice president. Then Joe Biden met with these same oligarchs and was caught dining with them in Washington, D.C. How about that time Joe Biden withheld $1 billion of aid into Ukraine unless Ukraine fired the prosecutor that was looking into Hunter Biden and Burisma? If you do a deep dive into the finances of senators and oligarchs in the United States, you will find massive amount of corruption. That's why all the liberals complaining that this impeachment inquiry will be bad for America are hypocrites, because you guys started this culture of nonstop impeachments with Donald Trump. So in 2024, you're going to have the Republicans that is running on the impeachment of Joe Biden, and Democrats are going to be running on the Trump indictments in the show trials to come. Notice how both parties are not running on improving the material conditions of the workers. Nonstop political theater.
Again, I didn't want to interrupt Nick. Shout out to Revolutionary Blackout Network. But again, this is what happens when you vote Democrat or Republican. You're not their priority concern. It's just a game between the politicians and their donors. You really think you have a seat at the table? Democrats want to indict Trump. Republicans want to impeach Biden. What about the American people? Kyle, what are your thoughts on this again?
Dark branded merch, you absolute freaks. This stuff is basic. I can say that because I'm not a hack.
I love it when people live in their own reality. But hey, you know, I guess shout out to Kamala and Biden, or, you know, when they do these events. I know Kamala's doing her Martha's Vineyard fundraiser and so much more. $50 to $10,000, grassroots. No one has that kind of money. As far as I'm concerned, I think Kamala and I can both agree with this. Do not come.
Do not come. Do not come.
I'm gonna come.
Yes!
Oh, vote independent, vote third party, break away from voting Democrat and Republican. And I sure hope in 2024 we see a rise in more independent voices. Make it happen, folks. Make it happen.